And we got vintage Steph Curry last night. He dropped 45. How far can the Steph show go in the West? Plus, Dame Lillard joins the show. We'll ask him why he's staying in Portland and what is his favorite shot of his entire career. That's all next on NBA Today. Another day and more breaking news on the Ben Simmons 76ers front. Adrian Wojnarowski, thanks so much for joining us. So Ben Simmons, you reported earlier today, he met with the team today. So what's the latest on his status?
Malika, Ben Simmons told the Sixers today, told their medical staff that he mentally was unable to play up to his expectations right now. He's going to seek some professional assistance to address things in that area. Get an evaluation. And certainly the Sixers are going to provide whatever resources he would like. This is a conversation that Rich Paul, Ben Simmons' agent, has had with the team in recent weeks. But today was the day Ben Simmons came in and met with Doc Rivers individually, met with the team's medical staff, and then met with his teammates for a brief time and told them that. So now, Ben Simmons will get an evaluation. Clearly, I think his debut this season, if he plays at all, is again pushed back. In the team, certainly there are mechanisms within his contract, the collective bargaining agreement, where he can go get whatever assistance he needs now and see how they can move forward from there.
All right. Thank you so much, Woj. So we're going to see the 76ers on the court. And Adrian mentioned that he met with his teammates, that Ben Simmons met with his teammates. And Simmons' teammate Tobias Harris tweeted this after the news broke. He said, "We'll respect his privacy and space during this time. Whether he's ready, when he's ready, we will embrace our brother with love and handle our business on the court. That's it. That's all." So Tobias Harris, he responded to a tweet on Simmons saying that they needed to handle his business. Now I want to welcome in our front office insider, Bobby Marks. Bobby, you are a former assistant general manager. You worked in front offices for 20 years. I need you to be Daryl Morey, please. How do we move forward? How would you move forward and proceed here?
Well, this is a mental health issue, Malika, so there is certainly some sensitivity to it. The first thing is you were embracing the situation. I think it was a good first step as far as Simmons addressing his teammates, addressing the organization, admitting that there is a problem going on right now. The second thing is that you are providing all the resources in the world as far as for him to go out and get that treatment that he certainly needs. And I think, Malika, certainly the third thing is that you want him around your team. You want him at shoot-arounds. You want him at meetings. You want him in there to get treatment. You want him to feel part of this team. You're not just going to send him home and have Ben Simmons call you when he's ready to come back on the court. You need to have him stay involved. But as I said, this is a mental health issue right now, and there is a lot of sensitivity to this.
Thank you so much for that perspective, Bobby, especially because you have been in these front offices. I really appreciate it. So we're going to get into more about the Sixers on the court because they are playing tonight against the Nets. So we're going to break that matchup down. But before we do that, you guys, we got to talk about Steph Curry with our panel. I have Richard Jefferson, Zach Lowe, Chiney Agumake, and Steph Curry. He was hotter than Howlin' Ray's chicken sandwiches.
Whoa!
He was spicy last night. He was spicy last night.
See, Perk, we thinking about you.
A little bit of sauce.
Love it.
Let's roll the highlights.
Gosh, that man was on fire last night.
I'm here for the Meg Thee Stallion Popeye sauce, though.
It was a night for him. He had 45 points on 16 of 25 shooting. So Steph Curry and the Warriors, they're hosting the Clippers. Look at this. Steph Curry, 3 from the wing, and he is just getting started. This is early in the first, under 4 minutes. Handling it.
As a push-off.
It's the 3. Andre Iguodala swings to Curry, hits again from deep. Guys, he had 25 points in the first quarter.
My goodness.
It's the most makes without a miss in any quarter of his career. He says, bring it. So fourth quarter, the Warriors are down 2. Curry takes a pass.
Yeah.
Rains that long distance. Look at this. Watch this again, guys.
He didn't even raise his hand.
Look at Jordan Poole's reaction, though. He's all of us. Check out the Warriors highlight call from the radio.
Now bounce pass out to Curry. A deep 3. He got it. Oh, my goodness. About a step and a half from midcourt.
So Curry wasn't done. 1 minute to go. Warriors down 1. Curry gets it.
2 people.
Yeah, but let's also shout out the Clippers.
But that's his 8th 3, guys. So the Warriors are up 2, but there's still some time for Paul George and the Clippers. Less than 10 seconds. Clippers down 4.
moving on from last game. Law of averages, keep your confidence, and once you saw the first couple go in, it was just staying aggressive. Same thing I try to do all the time.
Steph Curry was just Steph Curry. You know, there's never been anybody like him. Those last 2 threes were ridiculous.
With Steph coming off a game like he came off of Tuesday, you got to know he's coming out firing. Definitely impressed, but not surprised at all. It was incredible to see. And obviously, you know, enjoy playing with the guy because he's incredible. Some of them, like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? And the majority of them, that's money. Even on some of the ones, I'm like, what the hell? Still kind of thinking it's money. It's just like, why in the hell he just shoot that shot? But I expect all of them to go in, regardless of how ridiculous some of them are that he decides to take. Still expect him to go in because he makes those ridiculous-ass shots, and that's what he's done over the course of his career.
What a night for Steph with 45 points on 16 for 25 shooting while making 8 of his 13 threes. This was Curry's 40th career game with 40 points and 8 made threes. Nobody else in the NBA even has half as many.
40 games with 8 made threes and 40 points?
That's nuts. And I love, we didn't get to hear it, but I love Paul George. There was some like, smack talk back and forth.
Yeah.
I love this game, man. So Richard, the Warriors have wins over the Lakers and the Clippers, so they've conquered LA early in the season to start out. Folks are sleeping on this team, so we know, Zach, how long do you think that they can keep doing that?
I mean, sleeping on them? Nobody should be sleeping on them. The Warriors
have
announced. No, I was not. I've been high. I was high on the Warriors since preseason. None of this surprises me. They have an identity, and they have a whole roster of players now that fits their identity. They know how to play. They were +4 last night when Curry was on the bench. They were plus a lot with him on the bench in the first game against the Lakers. Look, it's 2 wins against the 2 LA teams. They're nice wins. It doesn't really mean all that much, but they look like a team that knows who they are. And I will say this. We saw all the threes. The great pleasure of watching the Warriors is just watching Steph run around and set screens and all the shots he gets for his teammates. Wiggins had a corner 3 in transition where all Steph did was run vaguely toward the basket. Everybody chased after him, and Andrew was like, oh, no one's on me. 3.
Let's talk about that. We always, you know, when you have a great shooter, we follow the shot, but we don't talk enough about how he moves, how that dictates those shots. He has an elite skill set, you know, even dribbling the ball. He has an elite skill set shooting the ball, but when he's moving off the ball, it takes an elite level of conditioning. And I think that's what people are starting to say. I think Paul George mentioned this after the game. You turn for help defense, and he is gone. That bends the defense, and he's able to pick and choose his moments. That's a spot for Steph. He knows that wing right 3, corners he loves, and also in transition. The way he I like the way you move. The way he moves is the reason why he's able to be an elite shooter.
No, it's ridiculous, but the last thing I'll say about that is the additions that they have on the team. I really believe adding Otto Porter, Jordan Poole growing. These guys, one more year of experience playing with Steph and understanding what they do. And no Wiseman. We saw how they started taking off with no Wiseman last year. Once he gets back, hopefully they can incorporate him.
So speaking of last year, Steph Curry led the league in shooting. He dropped 45 last night. He's 33, Richard. What's the key for him to keeping this up?
Well, I think just having more teammates around him that understand. There was, you know, a very, very young team. And that Warrior offense, how to cut, how to move, how to understand. That's one of the things that I think Kelly Oubre struggled with last year and why he couldn't get a rhythm. But I think now Draymond there and all the guys that they brought in that understand, having Andre Iguodala back, knowing where he can find the spots is so impressive.
You know what's interesting? If you notice the back-to-back opening games for Steph Curry, he had 10 rebounds in both games. I think the Warriors have finally realized they've maximized on Draymond Green. He's done a lot. For like 6'5", 6'6", to hold it down in the paint, he's done a lot. What I love is that they've realized without Klay, it's got to be team defense. And him getting those rebounds, the young guys being aggressive on both ends, pushing the pace, that's why they're successful.
And to your point, RJ, there was a play last night when Otto Porter posted up and found Jordan Poole back cutting for a layup. And it was like, wait a second. Otto Porter's playing the part of Draymond Green. Jordan Poole's playing the part of Steph Curry. I think this is going to be it right here. We've seen this a million times. That's Draymond and Steph. That's to your point about guys playing the Warriors style and them having. And can we just talk for 1 second? A name we haven't mentioned yet. How freaking good does Andre Iguodala look?
Yes.
Did he get in the Fountain of Youth in the summer? He looks incredible.
Comfort zone.
I mean, this is he's back at home. And you mentioned this. We were talking at the Lakers game against the Warriors the other day about how it looked like they found their groove maybe at the end of last season and they're carrying it into this year.
That's why I was high on him. I felt like in the last 25 games of last season when Wiseman was injured, they said, look, we can't do the development and the winning at the same time. We're just going to try to win. We're going to play all the guys we know that fit the style we play. Juan Toscano Anderson, you know how to pass and cut and move and shoot. You're playing more minutes. Draymond, you're playing more at center. And all of a sudden, they started ripping off wins and blowing teams out when they had Steph and Draymond on the floor at least. And there's value to being a team that because you have a player like nobody else, plays a style like nobody else. It's hard to play against the Warriors.
And there's value to a team, and Richard, you could attest to this. When you have a limited amount of great vets that can teach you a system, and then young players that are eager for opportunity, you combine that too, that's really great.
No, it's special because you know the rhythm. When Andre Iguodala looks better because he's been in that system,
yes.
He knows the guys. He knows the cuts before the cuts. He can see the plays. That's what Draymond, when Draymond and Steph are playing together, it's so impressive. But what I really do like is the growth of the young guys. The young guys are going to be so Toscano Anderson. You're going to have, then you have Jordan Poole. You got all of these guys that have now been there, and they know what's expected. They know when Steph gets moving, you got to move too.
Right.
You got to look for him, how to find him in transition. So I think Otto Porter plays that same style of basketball, and when you add Clay in,
woo. So you're saying when I move, you move?
Yeah, when I move, you move. That's how
but you got to
just like that. Oh God! Come on, Richard.
You got to do it. All right, we're
I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, you only play the cool guy on TikTok. All right, we're gonna stick with the theme of sharpshooters because up next, Damian Lillard.